Now, I do want to show you a demo. So what I will do is I will bring up Power Virtual Agents here. By the way, it'd be great if you just, I want to make this as interactive as possible. So if you could just put in the chat from a scale of 1 to 5, how familiar you are with Power Virtual Agents, that would be great. That would just give me good understanding of whether to go a little bit deeper, or I don't need to go deeper. I could just stay at the high level. So if you just put in the chat, just give me an indication of how familiar you are with Power Virtual Agents. So it says new. Okay. Well, let's say if it's new to one person, I should probably 1 out of 5. Okay. I think we should probably start from ground zero then in that case. Fantastic. All right, let's start from ground zero. Okay, so Power Virtual Agents, it's a really powerful platform to deliver custom bots through different channels very quickly. You could deliver bots through, you can embed bots even in websites. You can deliver this through Microsoft Teams. You can deliver this through other channels using your own custom bot. So what I'm going to do right now is just show you, just given that we're starting from scratch, I'll show you how to just create a simple bot. So one thing you would do is you'd go here, you'd click create, you would click build for production, and you'd name your bot anything. So I'm going to call this, let's just call this bot test 4. And I will select English for now and create. So every bot you'll see is comprised of topics, and these are just essentially conversational flows. But I'll show you exactly what happens. So it will spend maybe 30 or 60 seconds working on a bot. And it's just effectively going to give me a boilerplate template to start with. That's the whole goal here. So if you've never tried building a bot on Power Virtual Agents before, I would definitely encourage you. What I will do is I'm going to put this link in the chat. I'm sure you may all know it. I would definitely encourage you to try and start building a simple bot with PVA. And it's really intuitive. It's really simple. Doesn't require, it's completely low code as well, which is great. Okay, that took a bit longer than I thought. But anyway, we're here. So once you create your bot, oh, okay, great, we have a question. By the way, if there's any other questions, just please stop me. I do want to make this as interactive as possible. So we have a question: what is the difference between Power Virtual Agents and Power Automate? So great question. And I'll show you exactly how the two come together to build a pretty powerful solution. So Power Virtual Agents is about creating custom bots. Power Automate is about creating custom workflows. And when you have a bot combined with custom workflows together, you have something pretty powerful. And I'll show you exactly how that works. So, so this is just a simple bot I created. One of the things you will see is you will see something like topics here. And topics are just conversational flows. So if I hit overview, I can go to topics. If I look at the greeting topic, a couple of components you have here. You have trigger phases, messages, and a trigger phase is effectively a phrase to look for to start this type of flow. So if I go ahead and click test bot, and let's say I say something like, hello, you'll see, for example, this flow got triggered. So you see quite nicely that flow got highlighted green across the whole board. And if I wanted to change how the bot responds, I could just say, hi, I am a super intelligent bot, and I can do anything. And I would hit save. Once it's saved, I can test bot again. And I could say hello. And you can see it responds with something different. So it is that easy to modify how, to build a custom bot and get it to respond in a way that you would want it to respond. So the first concept is you have a bunch of topics, and you have topics relating to greetings. You have custom topics here. If we look at these are boilerplate topics. So for example, this topic is related to opening hours of a store. So you could imagine you could have topics are kind of specific workflows that are based on specific topics. So it could be opening hours. It could be things like where my current order is, so order status, things like that. So that's the basic concept of Power Virtual Agents and topics. Now, just going back to the to Chat MSP, which is the product built using Azure-OpenAI and PVAs, this is where Power Automate comes into play. So, quick touch point on Power Automate. Power Automate is a tool where you can customize flows, and those flows could be specific things. And you have pre-built flows such as, it's very similar to Zapier. You have specific flows such as save Gmail attachments to your Google Drive automatically. So every time you get a Google Mail with an attachment, it will save it to your G Drive. Right? It will also notify you on Teams when you receive an email with negative sentiment. Right? These are just very simple workflows. So you consider this is not a custom bot. This is not an agent. This is just a simple workflow. So it is very powerful in the context, though, of OpenAI. So if I go back to chatbots and I go to Chat MSP, which is the product we were creating for managed service providers, if I go into this, I'm going to show you the structure of this bot. So you can actually see these simple boilerplate topics. We don't have them on anymore. It would be a nightmare to have to define. The problem here with Power Virtual Agents is it works well, but you have to define specific topics so that it can interact with the user. But the whole promise of OpenAI is that I don't have to define any individual workflows. OpenAI should know exactly how to solve this problem for me. So the good thing is we only need to define one flow, which is resolve ticket. This is a flow that I made that integrates with Power Automate to resolve a ticket. So before I do that, I'm actually going to show you a quick demo here of how it works, which is probably much more interesting. So what I'm going to do is bring up testbot. I'm going to say hello. It will respond to say, hi, I'm Chat MSP. I can help you resolve tickets in your ITSM solution, because that is how I built it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, so typical support desk analyst would say, I need help resolving a ticket. And it says, I can help you resolve a ticket. Please give me the ticket ID from your ITSM solution. So it's now prompting me. It's already connected. This is actually a bot we have with a live customer. It's already connected with a support management portal, and it's just prompting me to give it a ticket ID. And so if I'm going to get a example ticket ID, this ticket ID relates to, this won't mean anything to you. This ticket ID in the customer system relates to someone having issues with their Outlook. So I'm going to press enter. Now what happens now is a powerful Power Automate flow gets triggered. And I'll show you exactly what happens. So the bot says, great, I'm checking ticket ID 191 quadruple 5. And so what it's doing right now is it is scouring. You can see here it's actually taking some time to think. But what it's doing right now is it's scouring through an entire knowledge base for a specific client, looking at all of their documentation, looking at all of their tickets in their ITSM solution, even looking at the web to come up with the best solution to this ticket ID or to a ticket. And that could take some time, and that can take up to 30 seconds, right? We haven't really done any optimization on this front. But that can take a lot of time. Tuhin has a question. Go for it. So can Power Virtual Agents be used for internal enterprise chatbots, or is it only for customer? Yeah, absolutely. PVA. So you can deploy. You can imagine having this deployed on your internal. You could actually imagine having this deployed internally within Microsoft Teams, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So it doesn't need to be customer facing. You can actually, the good thing about Power Virtual Agents is you can configure this to appear anywhere. Okay, so great. So it's actually given me a detailed answer. All I had to do was give it a ticket ID. And you can see it's given me a detailed answer about what to do. And it's triggered here a Power Automate flow. So don't worry if this looks confusing, I will go through it. And it's saying to resolve the issue with logging into Outlook, please follow these steps. And it's giving me detailed steps based on all of the existing tickets, based on all of the documentation about the specific issue on how to resolve this. So you can consider this a highly fine-tuned agent that is telling us how to resolve this. Not only that, it's actually told us which documentation it used to help it. So it's used things such as setting up a new user in Outlook, setting up email on Android. I have no idea what those documents mean. Those are a customer's documents. And then it says, how would you rate the answer from 1 to 5? 1 being the worst, 5 being perfect. We don't need to do that. But essentially, you can see that I now have built a OpenAI agent that is highly tailored to solve a specific problem for a specific use case. And so now the main power resides in this step, whereby we call or we trigger a Power Automate flow. So what happens is we have, in the usual PVA setup, we have a trigger phrase. We ask a question. So it says, what can I help you with today? So we have a greeting. What can I help you with today? I need help resolving a ticket. It then moves to another topic. Why does it move to another topic after I say I need help resolving a ticket? That's because I've set up a trigger phase to look at things such as tickets or resolve ticket or check ticket to move to a topic called resolve ticket. And what that does is it asks a question about which ticket ID that it needs. And I would just respond with the ticket ID. It would save that response as a number variable. And this is how you can specify that. Then it would tell me, oh, I'm checking this ticket ID, and it would call a Power Automate flow. This is I would say the best thing about Power Virtual Agents is integrating it with Power Automate flows. So if I look at this, flow, you could see here, I've created my own flow, and I'll show you exactly what it does. We can see that this took 1 minute and 2 seconds. It clearly needs some heavy optimization. I mean, it should really only take 30 seconds at max. But anyway, what this flow does is it takes an input from Power Virtual Agents, which is a number. It then makes a HTTP request to an Azure function, right? So what you've got to do is for PVA to interact. So, okay, we got a question here from Dinesh. So yes, this is our own bot using GPT-4. So it is a bot that is fine-tuned with specific data and answers question relevant to it. Exactly right. So what Power Automate does is it would take an input from the Power Virtual Agent. It would post to an Azure function. And if I show you, this is the function here. And so if you're not familiar with Azure functions, it is a great way to run event-driven code on a serverless compute engine. It's effectively just like hosting a piece of code that does something. That's all it does, right? So the intricacies of Azure functions are outside the scope of this this call, but I'm happy to go through it in maybe another webinar if it's useful.